Hello, I'm Cat, and wild news just dropped. We are getting changes to every forest, we're getting mob variants, and there's even a new cape coming to the game. That's right, Minecraft has just dropped 6 new features for what they're calling Drop 1 2025, at least on Bedrock, and this has confirmed that the John leaks were at least partially right. There are new types of pigs, it did happen on January the 8th, and the only thing missing therefore is the fireflies. However, those leaks and the things that we knew about this update didn't cover anywhere near what was actually the update, because we also have Wildflowers, we have a brand new lodestone recipe and a place to find it. I think that's super cool, and even better, we have a little bit of a peek at when the release date will be because of what is mentioned in the game files. Let's go into all of that today, but first, hello, I'm Cat, by the way, and if you subscribe, you can stay up to date with the latest Minecraft news, not usually from a hotel room in the middle of the Atlantic, but this is something that was very unfortunately timed. Usually January is a dead month for Minecraft news, but that is something that Minecraft are looking to change by launching their snapshots for the new game drop immediately into the new year, which is very exciting. But what's interesting is that we're talking about snapshots for the purpose of this video, even though this technically came out on Bedrock Preview at the same time. However, not all of the features are there, and also they removed a very key feature, the pause screen, for some reason, and there's all sorts of other bug fixes we'll have to come into later. But for now, keep in mind that this is snapshot footage of the first of the major features, which is of course the leaf effects. These are the easiest to explain, and so the best one to start with because it's a pure visual change. Look at this savanna biome and this acacia tree, and you can see that it's slowly dropping some particle effects, and the same is true in this jungle and also in this dark forest, over here in the birch forest, and finally in the regular forest. All of these effects are very easy to see, as you can definitely tell, and they're a nice little piece of ambience, I guess you could say, which already existed in the Cherry Grove and the Pale Oak Forest, the two brand newest biomes. Clearly Minecraft thought, why not add it to old ones as well? And a similar thing you could also say is true for the leaf litters, which might have been the more notable thing in some of these biomes. So the ground is going to have lots of nice little changes, and one of these is leaf litters. These are found in forests, dark forests, and wooded badlands, and you can place 1 to 4 on the ground, just like you could with the cherry blossoms. And what is extra interesting about these is the fact that Minecraft have thought about existing worlds. I do like this little touch here. Instead of just adding them on the ground to new worlds, you can also get them from smelting leaves. This is extra interesting to me because you can then use the leaf litters as fuel. It's not going to smelt very much for you, but you can technically do it, which is very fun. Speaking of fun, the Wildflowers. These are another thing you can find on the ground, and these confirm that we are in fact having the Wild Update V2. More seriously, yeah, they're the exact same thing as the leaf litter. You can place them on the ground 1 to 4 times, or you can use them for yellow dye. So a small bit of ambience and decoration for your Minecraft world that have a small bit of use. What's not to love there? Similarly, I think the pig is something interesting to note because there are now pig variants. Minecraft has learned from the success of wolf variants, and that is that people love these little visual changes. You know, they can work for months and months on a new hostile mob and a brand new biome, and what people will love so much more is if you recolor the wolf to be yellow and black. And so what have they done? They've got some recolors of the pig, and so this is the temperate pig. It's the pig you all know and love, and it spawns in most biomes, but if you're in a cold biome, the pigs will instead look like this. Look at the cold pig here, isn't he wonderful? And then if you're in a warm biome, you'll get the warm pig. So that means that there are now going to be 3 variants of pigs. They all function exactly the same under the hood. They're just, you know, if we want to use car terminology, they've all been rebadged, and that's wonderful, except unlike cars, there's an interesting problem of what happens when you breed different pigs together. And so if you're curious, it's not that they're going to use the current biome like how frogs do, but instead they work like sheep do, where if you breed 2 sheep together, if it can't make a perfect mix, and with pigs it never can because there are no mixed race pigs in Minecraft yet. Serious oversight from Mojang there, but since there are no mixed race pigs in Minecraft, it instead will just be randomly picked from the parents, which, I mean, you could also make an argument that's how mixed race really works in the real world, but you know what else really works in the real world? The other exciting feature, because this update is not actually the Wild Update V2, Mojang are getting ahead of themselves, and they've already worked out that eventually they're going to have a Trails and Tales Part 2 and a Tricky Trials Part 2, and then a Garden Awakens Part 2, and so they've done that last update right now because we officially have a brand new Pale Garden expansion, so the Pale Garden is going to get bigger. Some parts of your world that are currently Dark Forest will become Pale Forest. That's pretty nice if you ask me, but you know what else is nice? The fact that in these new, bigger Pale Gardens, you can find woodland mansions. Look at the glory of this thing. I know in my heart of hearts that I really want this to be a pale mansion. Literally, you can just recolor it and I would still be so excited, and a part of me thinks that if they're adding these to the game, that's them closing the door, but again, we've got a whole snapshot cycle, a whole drop cycle in which this can change, and so that is the fifth and biggest feature, except actually, do you remember Minecraft tweeting this rock and the alt text just said lodestone? What was that all about? Well, as it turns out, Minecraft had plans of the lodestone, and there's actually, they're kind of twofold. The first is a really great piece of news for anyone who hasn't crafted a bunch of lodestones in their world, because right now the crafting recipe involves a netherite ingot. Jesus, that is an expensive recipe, and that is why I've used a few of them, but I really try to limit it, and I'm impressed with anyone who can put lodestones in their world, but that is going to change because it will soon require an iron ingot. This will make it much more craftable and theoretically usable in survival as a decoration. I've heard of people who want lodestone floors, and that seems crazy to me, but now you can totally do it if you want to. And similarly, there is a second change to lodestone, and that is that you'll be able to find it in ruin portal chests. I love this as a piece of not just Minecraft lore, but also Minecraft accessibility. New players are never going to work out the lodestone exists. I think Minecraft is a game that's really hard to play if you don't watch YouTube videos or read the wiki constantly to find all the items, and so the lodestone existing in a nether portal chest is going to lead you in the right direction when you first find one, and I think that's a really nice little change. And that nice little change represents the end of what Minecraft have officially told us is inside of this new snapshot and beta/preview, the Drop 1 of 2025, very lovely name that is. There are two things they didn't tell us that we found inside of the game files, a brand new cape and indeed a release date piece of information, but first I want to point out that there is a major remove feature and a really cool bug fix that you'll appreciate inside of this update. The first one is the pause screen. I have no idea how the most popular feature from this update seemingly went missing somewhere between last preview and this one. I am sure that it will be back because they didn't specifically mention it on the beta preview changelog, but it would be nice if we got some clarification from Mojang. I haven't seen any anywhere yet. So that is the pause feature going missing and hopefully coming back next week alongside the missing features, because right now there are more features on Java than on Bedrock inside of this update. But yeah, the bug fix that makes up for it in terms of being a nice little bonus is that, fun fact, forever on Bedrock since 2016, you haven't been able to look at an iron door and place blocks without crouching, because the game would say like, oh, it's like using a regular door, a wooden door, and so if you try to use a block there, it's going to try and open it, and even though you can't open an iron door or iron trap door with your fist, it would still try, but that has been fixed, and that is very wonderful. But at this point, you're probably finding much more wonderful the cape thing, so let's talk about how we found this. Smokey Stack does some data mining into the brand new Bedrock preview and beta files when you download these the new preview to get these litters and to get all of these fun new items. They have to put the files onto your PC, and if you know where to look, you can find interesting things like this, the incentive cape. What is the cape going to be an incentive for? I have lots of theories in my head, but I don't think we have any concrete information. I would suspect, though, that given that this is in beta and preview right now, it probably won't be until the update actually releases sometime at the end of this month or the start of February, when you will be able to actually have it. And when I say the update, I mean 1.20, 1.60, because actual Drop 1 2025 is currently in experimental gameplay. That tells us it won't be part of the next update, which hopefully will have pausing and the big biome changes and everything else that we mentioned previously in this channel. But the Drop 1 of 2025 does have a vibe as to when it's going to be releasing, because inside the game files, that toggle is described as this, the Spring Drop. It's interesting that they're not publicly calling it the Spring Drop in that many places yet. Indeed, they keep talking about how they've released features, but don't necessarily talk about where or when. And so when is the update coming out? Spring. That's the release date. I got you good. More seriously, I think if you actually look into the what we can see from Minecraft's past, well, you can tell that we had a winter drop last year, and that winter drop released quite early into December, and so spring could be anywhere from March to May technically, but I would suspect that it's probably going to be on the earlier side of that. If this is a March or April drop, let's say it's April right? And so if they drop this in April or at the very end of March, that means that we have 2 months now, from now till the end of February, to get brand new features and little tweaks and stuff in here. And so then the only question is how much do they intend to add to this? Is this first drop of the year going to be a big ambience update? And have they basically learned, like I said, from the wolf variants, where one of the most exciting drops for a lot of people was just armadillos and wolf variants because, oh, so cute, it's brand new stuff. It's a lot easier to add than an entire new biome or a huge hostile mob experience and or structure or something like that. And so is this a way to basically have Minecraft do 4 drops a year, but do it in a semi-TikTok, that is not like the app, but instead like the clock? But is it like a TikTok style system where they can go like, okay, we do some smaller stuff so that we can have the big changes in the background, which will then describe how June's drop would be a bigger one? If so, I think this is awesome for a smaller update, but again, we are currently on drop 2 in this brand new multiple drops a year system, and so all of that is just kind of speculation, and I'd love to hear yours in the comments down below. Also, if you have any questions for Q&A Saturday, I'd love to hear them, because I'll probably be recording it also on the go. I'm currently, I'm in Bermuda right now, which, if you look at it on a map, it's just one of the wildest places in the world, and I'm going to be in an even more wild place by this Saturday, so I'll let you know how that goes when I see you then, because for now, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like getting the latest Minecraft news, even while I am in such a remote and tricky to reach place, please do like and subscribe. It really does help me out and remind me that even when I'm gone, people still remember that I exist, and that's something that's good. But otherwise, thank you for watching. Thank you to Harrison for getting the gameplay on this and Ash for editing this together, because I couldn't play Minecraft where I was, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.